presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Last night, Nick Castellanos gave the Tigers some breathing room with his 24th home run of the season, but in the end, the Athletics got a big grand slam from Jed Lowry, who's had a big series. A's go on to win last night. Today, final game of the series between the Tigers and the Oakland Athletics. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen, glad to have you with us here for Game 3 in the series. Tigers and A's, I'll tell you what, the Bats have come out in the series, run a lot of offense in the first two games.
Well, the A's came in smoking hot, and they've scored 17 runs in the two games here against Tigers pitching. Matt Olson, their first baseman's homered in 5 straight games. He's an absolute beast. Lowry, you brought it up, grand slam last night, but the Tigers also hit 3 homers last night and scored 8 runs, so you're absolutely right, lots of offense.
All right, now if the Tigers get a good outing from Anibal Sanchez today, a chance to win a game. His last one, awfully good, 11 punch-outs.
You know, I think Anibal will have his way today against this lineup that Oakland has. Oakland has a lot of young hitters, a lot of guys that have lots of power, and I think Sanchez, because he has the ability to add, subtract with his fastball and his changeup, he is going to be very good against them. I don't think he has to pitch inside as much as he did in his last outing, where he was spectacular against the Chicago White Sox. They have more of a veteran team with veteran hitters, but this is a young offense by and large that the Oakland Athletics have. They swing and miss a lot, and if Sanchez can show them the fastball and get ahead with the fastball, he can simply go to that changeup and that breaking ball to get these guys out and get them to swing and miss. I think he's going to have a good day today.
What do you say we get a winner this day?
It would be awfully nice.
Game 3 of the series just minutes away. After a short break, we'll send you down to the Call Sam Studios and check in with Matt Shepard. Incredible moments in the ball game last night. Alex Presley's record-tying home run ball connected families across the globe with an assist from the Tigers. We'll tell that story today as the day continues. Stick around. You'll never know what might happen next on Fox Sports Detroit.
Maybe you're too young for that. This is Daniel Mengden. He's the starter for Oakland today. Was recalled from AAA Nashville on September 5th. He's made a couple of starts since then. He's 1-0 with an ERA of 1.2, and opponents are just batting 143 against him. Welcome inside the Coliseum Studios. We get you ready for Tigers and A's. Detroit is 9-23 against the West so far this season. Only one Tiger pitcher has beaten Oakland this year. That was Michael Fulmer earlier this season when he went 8 strong. Can Anibal Sanchez do the same? Let's hope. The Tigers could use the victory, no question. They could also use some home runs. They hit 3 last night. Can they do it again tonight? If they do, and you could get a chance by getting some Arby's curly fries. Just bring in a copy of the box score to participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the box score on your newspaper or on the Tigers page at foxsportsdetroit.com. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849, and by Dodge. At Dodge, the roar of our engines is our battle cry. Welcome to the Brotherhood of Muscle. Mario and Rod are next for the blow-by-blow. Enjoy the game.
Tigers and Athletics are wrapping up this September series, and the Tigers today have Anibal Sanchez on the mound. He is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Well, Anibal's going to have to be on point here this afternoon. The Oakland Athletics are a very hot team. They've won 10 of their last 13 ball games. He was good 5 days ago against the White Sox. He'll need to change some speeds and make sure he throws strike 1 today.
Here is the starting lineup he'll face tonight, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. For Bob Melvin and the A's, they've got Marcus Semien in the leadoff slot this afternoon, followed by Joyce and Lowry. Lowry having a big series. Davis Cleaning up, Olson and Pinder. And a bottom three of Chapman, Wendell, and Maxwell facing Anibal today. And here we go. The first pitch of this afternoon's ball game is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Marcus Semien, 2 out of 5. He has scored 3 runs in the series. The 1-0 sails outside. 2 balls and no strikes on the A's leadoff man.
Yeah, Semien did not play in last night's game. Their #1 prospect, Barreto, manned the shortstop position in last night's win for the Athletics.
Semien skies this one foul, back out of play. Umpiring crew today, you've got Jerry Meals, the crew chief, behind the dish. Culpa, Conroy, and Blackney around the bases. The 2-1. He went around, so says Ron Culpa.
Anibal Sanchez has an assortment of different pitches. No longer does he have the mid-90s fastball, but his fastball average about 92. He's got a curveball, slider, changeup, and a cutter. He's got 5 pitches.
Semien takes ball 3. Fill the count now on the A's leadoff man. A little bit of power this year. 6 homers. He's been on the disabled list. Otherwise, those home run numbers would be much higher. That's skied foul again down the first base line, out of play. Mentioned it's a gorgeous afternoon here at the ballpark today, and we mean it. It is 78 right now at game time. 76 and climbing, to be exact, and a few puffy clouds in the area, but that's about it. 3-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Down he goes. Semien is out of there. First strikeout of the ball game for Sanchez.
Outstanding changeup here thrown by Anibal Sanchez away from Semien, buried down and away at the bottom of the strike zone. Anibal can throw that changeup to both sides of the plate, to both the right-handers and the left-handers, and he's not afraid to throw it in any count.
And he is starting where he left off in his last start, in which he struck out 11 batters in that win against Chicago.
He went 17 of 24 in first pitch strikes 5 days ago, and that's pretty much what aided him in shutting down that White Sox team.
Matt Joyce looks at a strike on the outer edge. Joyce, the former Tiger, is 3 out of 7 in the series. Here's the 0-1. They play the shift against Joyce. Only Candelario remains on the left side of the infield. Romine deep to the grass. Kinsler gets the day off today. Romine at second. Here's the 0-2. Joyce this year having a fabulous campaign. 24 home runs, 65 driven in. And those are career highs. Runs scored, a career high. 1-2 is swung on and missed. Couldn't hold up, and Sanchez opens up the ball game with a pair of punch-outs.
Sanchez has 2 strikeouts, and both of his strikeouts have come on the changeup. Take a peek at the Tigers' defensive alignment. You've got Presley in left, Matuk in center, Castellanos in right, Candelario, Iglesias, Romine, Navarro in the infield, and Hicks is the catcher here today.
Here's Jed Lowry. Tigers have had trouble getting Lowry out. He has 8 RBIs in the series. .279 batting average. That'll sail outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
We talked at the top of the show that Anibal could have a good day against this Athletics team that has struck out a record times in franchise history. So they swing and miss a lot, and Anibal Sanchez has the kind of pitches that he can exploit most of their weaknesses. Not necessarily Jed Lowry. Jed Lowry is an outstanding hitter. That's a switch hitter, but mostly the other guys, they swing and miss a lot, and Sanchez is already having a good day with 2 punch outs.
The 2-1. Bouncing ball to first. That is a foul ball. Well, it's an A's team, as you mentioned, rather, will strike out a lot, but they will also hit a lot of home runs. 49% of their offense comes via the home run ball.
And we do know that that's been an issue for Sanchez.
There are the strikeout totals. 1,400 15, a franchise record. Two and two on Jed Lowry. Foul tip, just got a piece of it out of the glove of the catcher Hicks.
I wonder if Hicks will go back to the changeup here against Lowry. As we told you, Lowry, a pretty good hitter, makes a lot of contact, but Anibal already with 2 strikeouts, both on that butterfly changeup. Well, fastball in and up.
And here it is. In on his hands, fouled back out of play.
That's great location. I mean, when you have the catcher motion with the finger, the one, and then tell you to get the ball up and inside, and then you're able to execute the pitch beautifully. It's a wonderful thing. They want it up, they want it in, and Anibal got it just where the glove of Hicks was sitting.
How many times do you see that catcher set up outside and then a home run ball, as we show the replay, you see the catcher's glove just kind of slide right back over the middle of the plate.
Yeah, they don't catch them. Those end up in the seats.
Showing location is one thing, hitting that location is another. 3-2 on Lowry.
Backdoor cutter here.
On the ground to the right side and under the glove of Romine. It'll scoot into short right field, and a 2-out single for Lowry.
They just can't get Lowry out. He threw him everything but the kitchen sink. The fastball, the curveball, the changeup. He finally comes back with a cutter. They wanted the cutter away, and that landed in the inside part of the plate at 90. And Jed able to turn on it. Romine left his feet, knocked it down, but not able to make a play.
Here is the powerful Chris Davis. 3 for 9 in the series. Davis this year with 66 extra base hits.
They've been able to pretty much keep him quiet. I mean, 3 singles. And some of the other guys, like the guy batting behind him, has been getting loose in the series. That would be Olsen. He's homered a couple of times. Chapman's homered. Lowry's homered.
Bouncing ball third base side. Short hop knocked down by Candelario. Stays with it nicely to record the out. No runs, a hit. 1 man left. No score, and the Tigers starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. A little bit of a different look today. Alex Presley will lead things off. Kinsler gets the day off. It'll be Presley, Candelario, Cabrera. Nick Castellanos in the middle of a 16-game hitting streak. You got Navarro, then Matuk. And your bottom 3 today features Hicks, Romine, and Iglesias. MGM Grand Detroit presents the numbers on the starting pitcher, Daniel Mingden.
And Mingden pitched a shutout his last time out against the Philadelphia Phillies. He was brilliant in that contest. He has a fastball that tops out at about 94. He also cuts the fastball about 18% of the time. He's got a curveball and also a changeup, and he's got a windup that at times he has a double pump in it. He has a single pump in it. This guy has some deception on the mound to go along with that fancy mustache he's sporting.
Everything is old school apparently with Mr. Mingden, from the windup to the mustache.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, that is different to say the least. Ball 1 to Presley.
And not only will he do this, Mario, every now and then he will do it just one time and he will catch the hitter off balance. So we'll watch for that, and it's going to happen. Talk about disrupting the timing of a hitter.
Presley checks it, foul tipped at 1 ball and 1 strike. You see some of this hesitation with the Japanese pitchers.
He looks like he's come from Japan. Basically, with this delivery, it is different.
Now the 1-1 to Presley. Ball too high, 2-1.
Every fastball thrown by Mingden so far, about 90 to 92. Every last one of them up in the strike zone to Presley, who had a really good day yesterday. 4 for 6. He was a triple shy of the cycle in yesterday's contest.
Three and 1. Presley is at about 390 in the 2 spot of the lineup, but with Ian getting the day off today, Alex bumped up to the leadoff slot.
Alan Trammell in uniform today.
Here's the 3-1. 3 and 2. Always good to see Tram bouncing around the clubhouse and the locker room and dugout.
It's great to talk to Tram when we get a chance to catch up with him, because he's always watching the minor league kids, so you can always get caught up on what's going on in the minors as well, because Tram has seen all the kids.
Slapped out of play. 3 and 2. The count stays on Presley. But this Mingden windup here is lulling me to sleep, and not even in the batter's box. I can't imagine what the hitters are thinking here. You just don't see this.
Well, he's not doing anything to improve the pace of play. That much we do know.
That's lined in the air to left field. Hit pretty good. Davis on the run all the way to the warning track. And Presley hit it hard, but he's out number 1.
And let's take a look at the A's starting defense. It is brought to you by Tim Hortons. Left to right, they go Davis, Pinder, Joyce. Up the middle, they go Simeon and Wendell. On the corners, they got the 2 Mats. That would be Chapman and Olsen. And Maxwell is the starting catcher here again today. He caught the game on Monday night. And I've been told that Mingden will not shake off Maxwell here today. He'll pretty much throw everything that Maxwell's fingers put down. Maxwell led him beautifully in the shutout 5 days ago against the Philadelphia Phillies.
Candelario fouls it back out of play.
Also, I've been told, Mario, that Maxwell is the one that on occasion will give Mingden a sign when he doesn't want him to go to this long windup. He wants him to go to a shorter, abbreviated windup to try to catch the hitters off balance.
Hopefully he'll give it to him often today. It's going to take a while otherwise. There's the ball low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Candelario in the 2 slot. Jamer overall this year 277 in a Tigers uniform 344.
Been slowed down a little bit in the series, just 1 for 8.
Two and 1.
Yeah, 10 pitches already thrown by Mingden, and he's thrown 5 balls and 5 strikes. So the command not necessarily there for him in the first.
Three and 1 now on Candelario.
Candelario has an on-base percentage in 18 games with the Tigers of .452. And because he will take his walk. I mean, this is a guy that at a young age has shown the ability not to really leave the strike zone and swing at pitchers' pitches.
High fly ball belted in the air to right field. That ball is hit deep, going to the track, going to the wall. And that ball is going to be in play. It's going to be a double for Candelario.
I think Candelario thought that was going out of the ballpark. Therefore, he is standing on second base and not third base with a triple.
He belted that thing, but to one of the deepest parts of the ballpark.
He got himself a 3-1 cookie fastball, and it was down, and he flipped the ball, and he thought it was gone. Ball goes off the out-of-town scoreboard. Nice job by Pender in center field, who's only playing out there for his third game in this series and third game in his career. He was right there to get that carom off the wall.
One out double brings up Miguel Cabrera. Big night last night for Miggy, 3 hits. Ball one high. And Cabrera certainly needed that. It's been a very rocky season for him compared to the numbers that he's established in his career. 16 homers now. He's knocked in 60. Here's the 1-0.
Let's take one more look at the candy double on the fastball that is down. And look at him go down and get this ball with great concentration. He just flipped this ball, Mario, and he thought it was gone. And it's like Castellanos' ball last night. Both of us thought that was a homer, and that one didn't leave the ballpark either.
Nick's ball last night just died in the warning track. And meanwhile, up and in, 3-0 on Cabrera.
Candelario hit that ball to the deepest part of the ballpark here at Comerica Park.
Is that a great example of how effortless your swing can be and still you can generate a lot of power?
Right.
He just, as you mentioned, flipped that ball off the wall in right. Meanwhile, 3-0. That's in there. 3-1 now on Miguel. Castellanos waiting on deck. Mignon is a native of Houston, Texas. He is 24 years of age. Now the 3-1. Little chopper to the right side of the infield. Lowry ranging left. That'll advance the runner. Cabrera's out, 2 away.
If I was Bob Melvin, I know it's the first inning, but as hot as Castellanos has been, I would tell Mignon to be very careful with him. Castellanos was 0 for 3 in last night's game, and he stepped to the plate in the 6th. And he hit another home run, his 24th of the year. But I love the balance that he had throughout that swing. It was pretty much all arms, all hands, and Nicholas gave you an idea of the strength that he has when swinging that bat.
So Castellanos with 24 home runs, 94 driven in. Runner at third, 2 outs. $16-gamer now for Castellanos. He waited for his 4th at bat last night to get that first hit. He'll drive this one in the air to center field, not deep. And with a running play, Pender retires the side. Tigers strand a double.
this year and homered in 5 straight games, which started in Philadelphia, and the swing looks similar to every last one of them. It doesn't really matter whether it's a right-hander or a left-hander. This guy just has brute strength. He had 23 homers in the minors before coming to the big leagues, and now 23 homers in the big leagues. Mario, is ridiculous. This guy's homered in 5 straight games.
Let me do some quick addition. That's 46 home runs between AAA and the big leagues.
It's ridiculous. He has 23 home runs this year in the big leagues, and he only has 22 singles. So he has more homers than he has base hits.
Well, he's trying to keep his streak going of a homer in 5 straight. Sanchez has other ideas. Hannibal had a couple of strikeouts in the first, gave up a single, but no damage.
You see his hands away from his body in his stance, and as a pitcher, you think you could get inside with a fastball, especially if you throw about 92, because that's what you're taught to do against guys that have their hands resting over the dish. But he pulls his hands back ever so slightly, and he gets them into a really nice slot. And this guy generates a lot of bat speed, even though he starts in an unorthodox position.
I know you asked this to Craig Monroe the other night, but would you teach this? What if you had a young man came to you with this kind of setup? What would you say to him?
Well, I would probably watch him for a little bit, Mario, and then I would probably try to get his hands a little bit closer to his body, only because it's so inviting for the guys that throw fastballs inside.
He belts another one down the right field line. That ball is hooking, and it's foul.
Matt Olson, stop it.
He almost hit another home run.
And that was with one hand. How strong is this guy?
Olson made his major league debut last September and was only 2 for 21, but a much different major league look this year.
I mean, look at that ball. It's down, it's out, and he has to let go of that top hand because he caught it way out in front. If he lets that travel a little bit more, he's able to drive that ball out of the ballpark for his 24th homer.
Swing and a miss. Instead, Sanchez able to dust him, one gone.
Sanchez looks like he's on one again here today against these A's, but we thought he might have a good day with the strikeouts today.
Sanchez in his last start against the White Sox, 6 innings, 1 run, 1 walk, and 11 strikeouts.
You know what really helped Sanchez in that outing against the White Sox? Is he pitched inside so much, and I don't think he's really pitched inside to one of these guys yet. So he's pitching totally different against this A's team than he did against the White Sox team. But he had 9 0-2 counts in that game 5 days ago.
Whoa, that'll help.
Well, when you get a hit like that, it just allows you to expand the strike zone, and that's why he racked up so many strikeouts.
Well, the last time Sanchez had an 11 strikeout game was in May of 2015. It had been a couple of years, and that was against the Houston Astros.
Sanchez pitched so well when they first got him from the Miami Marlins. He won the ERA title his first year. He pitched well his second year as well, even though he had some injuries. But the last couple of years, he just has had a difficult time of kind of finding his way on a consistent basis.
2-1 on Chad Pinder. He's batting here with 1 gone in the second, no score. Chopped the third base foul.
Told you that the A's are desperately looking for a center fielder for the future, and therefore they're giving Pinder an opportunity to man that position the remainder of the season. This is 3 games now he's played out in center. He's played 5 different positions for Oakland this year,
including second base and shortstop, so 2 of the middle infield positions along with the outfield spots.
We were talking yesterday, they believe Dustin Fowler, a center fielder they got from the Yankees in the Sonny Gray deal, ultimately will be their center fielder, but he's on a disabled list right now.
Here's the 3-2. Pulled to third base. Candelario knocks it down and throws wide. It's the second error in this homestand for Candelario on a throw.
It hasn't started out to be a great day for Candelario here. This is a ball that's obviously should be made easy for him, but he also hit a double and it should have been a triple, so a little bit of wake-up call for the youngster.
E5, and that'll give the A's a base runner now for Matt Chapman. Chapman also has a homer in the series. Ball 1. 13 home runs this year for Chapman. He has knocked in 34. Pinder has not run a whole lot this year. One swipe in 2 attempts. The 1-0. Tigers would love to see Sanchez go deep into this game today. They have not had a lot of guys in the month of September go deep. In fact, in 19 starts now, only 3 have gone 6 or more innings, which has certainly stressed the bullpen. Runner going, throw, sails into center field. Pinder gets up, he'll go to third, he'll make it safely.
Well, Hicks really had no shot at throwing Pinder out and probably shouldn't even thrown the ball down to second base. He had such a great jump against Anibal Sanchez. And then when you see the base runner get the kind of jump that Pinder got, you rush your throw, and he threw that ball from a sidearm angle, and the ball just tailed on him and scooted into center field past Romine. But look at the jump here by Pinder.
Huge. Hicks now 2 out of 6 and throwing runners out. Infield coming in for the Tigers. And that's fouled straight back.
So that's 2 errors by the Tigers here in the second inning.
Stolen base E2, allowing Pinder to get the third. Chapman trying to drive him in now with less than 2 outs. Popped up. Foul ground, third base side. And Hicks, nice play up against the railing. And he almost walked down the stairs. Nicely done.
No, he'd have fell down them stairs. He wouldn't have walked down them steps.
Somebody would have caught him.
It's a nice play here by Hicks. Take a look at him, and when he throws his mask, watch him. He throws that mask back toward play because he doesn't want to run over that mask, and he runs over there and makes a nice grab before almost falling down those stairs. And you young kids at home or catchers, that was the key, though, to the play for him, is where he threw his mask. You never just want to drop your mask because you never want to somehow trip over your mask on that pop-up when it's coming back down.
Joey Wendell, the batter. Infield back now with 2 away. Wendell is 4 for 10 in the big leagues this year. A little bit up, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Good fastball inside. And most of the time when Sanchez does bust the left-hander inside, he goes right back outside with that real good changeup. We'll see what he does here to Wendell.
Threaded the outside corner there, 1-2.
Yeah, he went back outside, but he went with a 91-mile-per-hour fastball.
This is an A's team that coming in has been playing, as we mentioned, some of their better baseball. They've won 4 of 5 and 10 of their last 13. And despite the fact that September sometimes can give you uneven numbers with all the call-ups and young players getting an opportunity, they're playing their best baseball. And they won the first 2 games in this series. Swing and a miss. Nice job by Sanchez. Hicks will throw down to complete the strikeout, and that is with number 4 for Sanchez.
Omar Vizquel doing a little teaching down there in the dugout with the youngster Candelario on defense, and looks like he's trying to talk to him about following your throw when you throw the ball over to first base. He made that wide throw over there.
How much of that, Rod, was footwork as well?
I think a lot of it was footwork. I think the fact that he got flat-footed after he picked that ball up, and I think that's what Omar was telling him. Even though you mishandled it, make sure you get your momentum carrying you over toward where you're throwing the ball so that you can make a firmer throw.
Effort Navarro lines one to right field. It'll be a leadoff single for Navarro. By the way, stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll be selecting the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites, now being served all day. Navarro now with a 5-game hitting streak. Here is Mikey Matuk. Mikey, 5 hits on this homestand, including the game winner. Walk-off win for the Tigers earlier on the homestand. Showing bunt. Haven't seen Mikey do too much of that this year.
No, have not seen Mikey square to bunt for a base hit.
He had Chapman back at third.
Even where Chapman is playing right now, if Matuk wanted to bunt for a base hit down the third baseline, he still has plenty of room to do it. You just have to disguise it to make sure that Chapman is not alerted and he doesn't get too good of a jump from that position that he's playing right now. But he's deep enough to where you can still, you know, drop the bunt down.
One ball and 1 strike on Matuk. Career high 12 home runs this year for Mikey. Getting some time now in center field with Jones out of the lineup today. When Jacoby is in there, Mikey typically plays left. In the air toward left field, Davis on the move, still going back. Up against the wall to make the catch. Nice running play.
A couple of nice plays that Davis has made in left field. He made a nice play on Presley in the first as well.
Well, the Tigers host the Twins on Saturday at 6:10. Former Tigers Willie Horton and Frank Tanana will take part in a pregame Q&A session. It'll be at 4:45 at the Big Cat Court, part of the Alumni Saturdays. Go to Tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER if you'd like ticket information. Time is running out to catch the Tigers this year. Final homestand of the season. There's the statue of Willie Horton out there in left center. Ball 1 to John Hicks. Catching today, giving McCann an afternoon off. 6 home runs this year for Hicks, 1 for 9 on the homestand. One ball, 1 strike. I'm sure James McCann will go into next season as the starting catcher for the Tigers. But the Tigers with some options now. Hicks has really kind of put himself on the radar this year. Ryan Holiday had a good season at AAA, and he's back in the organization.
Well, it just kind of depends on whether they want a left-handed bat or not to platoon with James McCann. And if that's the case, then they will be looking to maybe bring in a veteran guy, a guy that's willing to back up and probably play about 50 games a year in back of McCann that bats left-handed.
They had that duo this year when Avila was in the system prior to the trade. Another snap throw, that play a little bit closer as Navarro gets back.
Alex will be a free agent after the season is over. He is now playing for the Chicago Cubs, and it's not out of the possibility that he might want to come back to Detroit if Detroit wants him again. Left-handed bat.
Would not shock me at all.
Then again, Alex might not want to come back to a rebuilding situation.
The 1-1. 1-2 now on Hicks.
And Mengden has been throwing his curveball a little bit more these days, and that was a curveball that he threw right there, and he's been having a lot of success with that pitch. It was tough for Hicks to pick up.
Righties in general have had trouble this year against Mengden. They're hitting 194 against him.
Even lower against that curveball.
In the air toward right center field and shallow. It'll be caught there by Choice. 2 gone. There's Andrew Romine. Playing second base today. Romine 1 for 5 on the homestand. That's in there. A strike called on Andrew.
And a straight change up there by Mengden to get ahead of Romine.
Tigers got a leadoff single from Navarro. He is still there with 2 outs.
Mengden will throw that changeup about 16% of the time. So he does have a lot of confidence in that pitch. He will throw it in any count. Mostly to the left-handers.
Here now is the 1-1. 1-2 on Romine. Mengden back in January was throwing a bullpen session in the offseason and broke his foot, suffered a fracture in his foot, and therefore had to start the season on the disabled list, which kind of shortened his year this season. But much of it was spent at AAA.
What's funny about that, Mario, is he pitched with that same injury for 3 years. He kept getting shots, and that's how he would get through the season. And then finally, as you mentioned, he went back home and threw that bullpen, and a funny movement or motion, and next thing you know, he's down.
Mengden, 24 years old, native of Houston. That spins outside, run at full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mengden was originally drafted by his hometown Astros, but traded to the A's in 2015. That was the deal that sent Scott Kazmir the other way. Runner will go here on 3-2. Bouncing ball right side, cut off at first, and Mengden covers. Nice play by both Olson and Mengden, and the inning is over.
Anibal Sanchez is at it again today, and it's been the changeup that's been the plus pitch so far. He has 4 strikeouts, 3 of the strikeouts on the changeup, 1 on the cutter that was down, and a lot of soft contact when throwing the changeup, and the A's making contact either on the ground or easy fly balls to the infield.
Bruce Maxwell will get it started now for the Athletics, and a strike delivered by Anibal. It'll be Maxwell, Semien, Joyce.
Anibal throwing a lot of strikes. He's thrown 43 pitches. He's only missed the strike zone with 14 of them.
Maxwell batting lefty, a little bit of a slight pull side defense for the Tigers. Some room down the third baseline.
He's got a catcher's build, doesn't he?
Line drive to right field. Castellanos going back, can't get it, up against the wall. Nick falls down. Maxwell is on his way to second, and he'll stop there. It's going to be a double to get things started here in the third.
That is the toughest play that Nicholas Castellanos has had in the 13 games that he's been in right field. And it's a tougher play for most outfielders. The ball that's hit right at you, and the ball's hit firm. You don't know whether to come in and go back. He made the right decision to go back, and then he jumped and not able to make the play. So overall, the route wasn't poor for Nicholas, and that was by far his toughest chance since he's been out there.
See, you can probably speak to this. Craig Monroe joining us on those balls hit right at you, man. Those are probably the toughest plays.
They are definitely the toughest plays, guys. On that particular ball there, Nick did a good job, though, of recognizing that the ball was over his head. What I would have liked to see him do was kind of create some separation, though, kind of push himself kind of away from the ball to where he could have caught it maybe on the glove side. But again, he's going to learn. The more balls that he gets, the more work he puts in. As long as he keeps swinging the bat, as far as I'm concerned, though, he'll continue to play and be productive.
See, those are the plays, Mario, that you cannot simulate pretty much in batting practice, and when Dave Clark's hitting you fly balls. That ball hit that sharply off the bat where you've got to make that split-second decision.
Semien looks at a ball inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Craig, were you drafted as a shortstop?
I was drafted as a shortstop, and in the first day I got to minor league baseball, guys, they gave me an outfield glove and said, go get them.
And so you just learned on the job, as they say.
Well, you have to, and then a lot of times, let's be honest, I mean, you're the shortstop coming through the minor leagues or coming even as a kid, you're the best athlete on the field. And I think it's going to be I'm not going to say an easy transition, because he's going to take some bumps and bruises, but he's definitely going to figure it out.
We had a shot of 2 great shortstops, Alan Trammell and Omar Vizquel, who are in the Tigers dugout. But when you got to pro ball, was it just a matter of they felt you could be a better outfielder, or just a matter of where they needed you in the system?
Well, I think they felt like I could be a better outfielder than infielder.
That ball is going to get down into the gap in left center field. It'll get a run in. Throw coming into second base, sliding in with a double as Marcus Semien, and the A's have the lead. Back-to-back 2 base hits and 33 RBIs now for Semien. That'll bring up Matt Joyce now. Greg, when you made that transition to the outfield, there had to be some things that were more challenging for you than others. What was the hardest part of that transition?
I think the hardest transition for me, guys, was first of all, the ball that was hit to Nick in this inning here. That ball hit right at you is a tough play. You don't know if you got to go back or if you got to come in. The other thing was route running. You had to make sure that you were taking the right route. Again, I wasn't as fast, even maybe not as fast as Nicholas Castellanos, but what you have to get comfortable doing is taking good routes. And if you take good routes, you will be able to get to more balls than you ever imagined that you could get to.
Matt Joyce, the batter. The 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Rod, did you ever play other positions in pro ball? Were you strictly an outfielder?
Strictly outfield.
2-0 on Joyce.
I wanted to get as far away from that baseball as I could.
So catching was out of the question.
Oh my goodness. And you see some of these rockets these boys take in the infield.
Yeah. High fly ball center field. Mata cruising back, still going to the edge of the track to make the catch. Semien tags. He will move to third. One gone. That'll bring up Jed Lowry. I remember the story about Victor Martinez when he got to pro ball with the Cleveland Indians. He was the shortstop as well, and they told Victor, look, we don't think you're going to have the range to play the position we would love for you to catch.
I walk Jed Lowry here. I mean, there's one out. I mean, he drives this runner in from third base and better than 60% of the time. Major league average is 50. He's already has 8 RBIs in this particular series. And I don't know if Sanchez has enough tricks in his bag to get him out.
1 ball and no strikes on Lowry.
And by walking him, you play for the double play ball off the bat of Davis, who has not necessarily had a good series. Maybe Sanchez gonna walk him anyway, right? See?
Yeah, well, you try to see if he'll expand the strike zone and maybe roll over one, and we can prevent this run from scoring. But I wouldn't give in to him.
I guess that's the difference between having a young pitcher out there and having a veteran pitcher in Sanchez out there. Sanchez looks like he's not going to give him anything to hit, which I agree with 100%. Don't get it too close, though.
Lowry gets a 4-pitch walk, and that'll put runners at first and third. This Saturday, the Tigers take on the Twins at 6:10. The first 10,000 fans get a free Tigers Hawaiian shirt. For tickets, go to tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER. Here is Chris Davis now with runners at first and third.
So you figure there, instead of just letting him go down to first base, they figured, okay, we'll see if he'll chase something by pitching to him instead of wasting those 4 pitches.
Yeah, I thought there, Anibal Sanchez, as you alluded to, he's a veteran guy, so maybe nibbling a little bit to see if he would expand the zone, and he didn't.
Oh, popped up. That'll certainly help the cause. It's Iglesias. Two gone. It'll bring up Matt Olson now. Olson, a 5-game hit streak, is fanned in this game, and a wave and a miss.
Sanchez punched him out with a fastball that was up top his last time up.
12 home runs here in the month of September. That is a rookie record in the major leagues.
He is doing things in the big leagues in the short amount of time that he has been here that duplicate what Gary Sanchez did last year, the New York Yankees. Their fine catcher.
Rod, Olson's been late on 2 good fastball at 91, well located as well. I'm starting to believe that maybe he's looking for that Bugs Bunny changeup, and he's not getting to the fastball right now.
Either he is looking for it, or he has a difficult time of catching up to the cheese, one or the other.
Popped up. Heading back toward the seats, and Hicks runs out of real estate.
Yeah, there was another fastball right there to Olson at 92 miles an hour.
And for me right here, Mario and Rod, I don't give in to him. I don't speed up his bat by throwing him an off-speed pitch here. Maybe climb the ladder again with a good firm fastball. Hopefully he gets up to about 92, 93, and try to get a swing and miss.
Even though he has that great changeup today, you wouldn't mess around with it?
No, not right now, because on every fastball he's late, and I feel like a changeup, especially if it's not located well, will speed up the hit batter's bat, and he might be able to get to it.
He tried it.
Yes, he did.
Back-to-back doubles graded Sanchez here in the third. And now he's trying to cut off the rally here. 1-0 in favor of the A's. Two homers in the series, 3 RBIs for Matt Olson. Sanchez now about to throw his 64th pitch. Two and two on Olson. Should he reach? Pinder waiting on deck. Dusted him, and Sanchez comes back with a big strikeout. They'll settle for 1 run. They happened last night. Alex Gordon homers in the Royals game against Toronto, and that established a record for home runs in a season in the major leagues. Earlier last evening, Alex Presley homered to tie the record, and Gordon, who doesn't hit many homers and has a very low slugging percentage, ironically was the man to do it.
And go figure, Presley with only 1 homer before that homer last night ties the record, so now he has 2. And you mentioned Alex Gordon, who has the lowest slugging percentage of all qualifying batters in baseball. He breaks the record.
Jose Iglesias will get things started here as we go to the bottom of the third. 1-0 in favor of the Athletics on back-to-back doubles. Iglesias, Presley, and Candelario. Iggy loops that one to the shallow right field. It'll drop, base hit, and a leadoff single for Iglesias. Well, Menards brings you the big money encounter. We want to talk about all of the home runs single season in Major League history. 2017 now is the new king. 5,707 homers.
Well, it's no doubt. I mean, there's several guys in the big leagues that have career high in home runs this year. Numbers are way up. Strikeouts are way up as well.
Here is Presley, the left fielder for the Tigers. He lined out to left his first time up. Tigers have the tying run on now with the leadoff single by Iglesias.
And Tigers like facing Mingden better when he's in the stretch because He doesn't take as long getting the ball to home plate as he does while he's in his delivery with nobody on. Maybe.
1 ball to no strikes on Presley. It's been a good homestand. In fact, a great stretch for Presley. He's hit safely in 16 of his last 18. Had the 4-hit game last night and very nearly hit for the cycle.
Well, Presley understands the position that he is in. He's 32 years old. He's getting an opportunity to play on a team that's said they're rebuilding, retooling, whichever words you want to use. And usually guys that are 32 don't get those opportunities with a rebuilding team. It's more for younger guys. And so if you're Presley, not only are you playing for the Tigers and possibly playing for them in 2018, you're auditioning against every other team too.
Line to center field and right into the glove of Chad Pinder for the first out.
Because I think the one thing that we all believe, Mario, is that Presley is a big league player. Now, whether he's here or not next year remains to be seen, but he will be in the big leagues somewhere, is my guess.
Right, I think you're right. I think he's proven it. He gives up to the batter's box. He gives you a quality at bat. He always seems to be finding the barrel of the bat and putting it on the baseball. He hasn't been bad in right field. He's also played a little bit of center. And then he also can change the game from a speed standpoint on the base pass. So I think he'd be a valuable asset and a veteran player, even if he does get the opportunity to stay here with the Tigers.
We've been watching Presley pretty much all year, and I thought he was a pretty good runner last night. I was kind of shocked when I saw Jacoby Jones come in to pinch run for him last night.
I was too.
I don't know about you guys.
Well, Jones, I think, certainly has more speed, but
you think so? More speed?
I think he has more speed. I don't think he's that much faster, but I think he has more speed. Candelario had a double in his first at bat, and a ball that he thought he hit it out, but it rattled against the wall in right field. Here's the 1-0, and it's outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Candy's been in the 2 spot. He's been in the 5 spot. He is back up to 2 this afternoon with Kinsler out of the lineup and Presley moving up 1 position in the Tigers lineup. Now the 2-0. That'll get back out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And Candy had himself a pretty good fastball to hit right there, although that one was up in the strike zone. Most left-handers absolutely love the ball that's down in the zone. He doubled his first time up on a ball that was down in the strike zone.
Popped up left side of the infield. It'll be the third baseman Chapman cruising to the grass. And Candelario is out. There are 2 gone now. Iglesias holding it first. It's going to bring up Miguel Cabrera, who is 0 for 1 in this game with a ground out. Floats that one in for a strike. 0-1
at 69 miles an hour.
Nice bender there, Rod.
Yeah, it was, especially if you can throw it for strike 1.
Well, that's what he looks like, the kind of pitcher that Minden is. He's not overpowering. He's relying on location and changing speeds, and he's done a good job so far.
That is a foul ball.
That one got a piece of Ryan Blackney down there. He couldn't get out of the way. Don't rub it, Ryan.
Something jumped up and bit him. Those hurt, though, guys. They don't feel good.
Sound like you're speaking from experience.
Yes, sir. Everybody always says, "I'll rub some dirt on it." Yeah, I rub some dirt on it. It don't change the facts.
You try it.
It still hurt.
Now Mingdian ready with the 0-2. That'll bounce in. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I think that's what we tell our kids, Simo, when they've got themselves a little owie where they've scraped or bruised their legs or their arms. Come over here and let Daddy rub some dirt on it. You'll be all right.
It's been a while since I've heard the term owie.
So our kids are grown now.
Here's the 1-2, and it sails outside. 2-2. Mingdian tossed his first complete game shutout in his last start. He blanked the Phillies 4-0. I mean, he was dominant. He allowed 2 hits, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 7 in that game. By far his best major league start. He has given up 3 hits, no runs so far in this one. Rolled foul by Cabrera. 2-2, the count stays. See, what do you got on all this movement that Mingdian shows you, whether it's from the windup or the stretch? Would this annoy you as a hitter?
Well, you try not to pay close attention to it. You really try to just pick up him delivering the baseball. When he takes the ball out of the glove, that's one of the things that I would try to focus on. I would try not to get caught up in all the movement that he would have, and I would just focus on the glove and him pulling the ball right now.
3-2. The Tigers now will have the advantage of starting the runner here. Iglesias let it off with a single. We're in the third. 1-0 A's. And the 3-2. Driven to left but foul. Miggy got out in front of that one.
Yeah, Miggy waited about as long as he could wait on that 71-mile-per-hour curveball and still caught it out in front. It's a difficult ball to keep fair.
Castellanos on deck should Cabrera reach. Ground ball up the middle and into center field, a base hit. Iglesias going to third base. They'll stop in there. It's a single for Cabrera. And the Tigers now have runners at first and third with 2 outs.
Look at that bat by Miguel Cabrera. He saw several breaking balls from Mingdian. Finally, Mingdian decided to get Miggy out with that fastball. Miggy hit it right past a diving shortstop in Simeon.
Not only keeps the inning going, but it brings up your hottest hitter as Nick Castellanos strolls in. Flied out to center in his first at bat. Ball 1. Well, each day Nick gets a hit, it continues to add to his career high in hitting streak. Right now it's at 16. Not to mention he has hit safely in 21 of 22. The 1-0. High fly ball right field, hit pretty good. Joyce going over to the gap to haul it in, and the Tigers will strand 2. America Park. It is time now for the Bernstein advantage. And Anibal Sanchez, active roster against Anibal, just 169, 25 strikeouts. This A's roster that he's facing today has not had a whole lot of success against him, although they got a run in the third. And Chad Pinder will lead things off. It'll be Pinder, Chapman, and Wendell. And Sanchez deals a strike, 0-1. The fourth inning is underway. Pinder reaching on an error, stealing a base, and was eventually stranded at third. That'll miss high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Pinder's some time on the DL this year with a bad hamstring. He'll take one riding up and in, 2 balls and 1 strike to count. The A's had 14 hits in game 1. They had 14 hits again last night. There's been a lot of men left on base as well in this series. Total of 8 so far in this game. Three and 2. And he lost him, ball 4. The leadoff man is on now for the Athletics. Well, time now for cricket's something to smile about, and we bring in Matt Shepard.
You know, Mario, the Tigers may have a lot of things in the standings, but the organization does care about the people who support this team. Last night, great moment. Gentleman by the name of Fernando Chapa from Mexico, at his first ever Tigers game, got Alex Presley's home run in the 5th. He gave that ball to Cameron Florka right in front of him. The Tigers then presented Chapa with a Miguel Cabrera signed baseball. The team had Presley sign the baseball for Cameron, who with his father came on the postgame show with John Keating. And even though it was a 9-8 loss, Mario, it was an incredibly touching and special feeling for everybody associated with it. Hats off to the Tigers organization, and hats off to Alex Presley for getting involved as well. Back to you.
2 families that before last night did not know each other existed, and baseball brought them together. Great story, Chef. That's driven in the air to center field. It's fairly deep but playable. It's going to be Matuk just about to the warning track. Runner will tag, and the throw is wide, so Pinder will move up, 1 gone. Simo, what was that like? You were on the set for that moment.
Oh, it was a special moment, guys. The dad, so emotional. He was talking about the good and the bad, especially where the country is right now with all the turmoil. He said, you know, there is good, and I really feel him on that. It was some good. That was a great gesture by the young man giving up the ball to Cameron, and he was definitely grateful for getting that baseball. Super excited. Special moment, no question.
I think when someone does something for your child, it really stays with you, and that's what happened last night.
Something that
flared in the air toward left, and it's going to be playable for Presley to the warning track.
Mario, the other thing is this doesn't happen in any other sport. You can't take a basketball from the game and have Chauncey Billups sign it. You can't take a hockey puck because of the netting that is now around to protect fans and have somebody sign it. Matt Stafford throws a touchdown against Atlanta this Sunday. You ain't getting that football signed by Matthew Stafford, right? Baseball's unique in that regard, and that's, I think, what makes it really special. I was talking about this with Alan Trammell just before the game, and he said this is what baseball does. This is why it's so endearing to people.
Well, how many times do we see the young kids sitting at the railing before games getting autographs from players, and it's probably the best part of their day.
Or at the 1-800 call Sam Set.
That's right, absolutely.
For Craig Monroe.
1 ball, no strikes on Bruce Maxwell. 2 outs and a runner at second. Maxwell had a double to get things started back in the third. And it's in there, a strike called, 1-1.
Yeah, good pitch by Sanchez. In a 1-0 count, Maxwell must have been sitting on something softer. He must have thought that Sanchez would try to throw him a changeup or either a breaking ball, and he'd let that fastball go right by with a runner in scoring position.
Two and one. He's had a lot of base runners already in this game, but they've managed only one run because Sanchez cut it off in the third. He stranded a couple of runners after they had gotten a run.
Hannibal already with 5 strikeouts in the game. 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. Ooh.
Oakland just 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. The A's have left 27 men on base in the series. The Tigers 26. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Sanchez. That'll end the inning. Simo, we'll see you on postgame show.
All right, fellas. See y'all later.
As we go now to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Here's the 1-800 call Sam called of the game. Shep was talking about this a little bit earlier. You've got Raleigh Fingers, who of course had the handlebars mustache, and guess what Daniel Mengden is doing?
Yeah, Mengden looks pretty good too.
You think Mengden's ever going to win a Cy Young like Raleigh Fingers did in '81?
Well, only time will tell. But Raleigh right now, I'm doing a little research on him. He is 71 years old.
71 years old is Raleigh.
So the young man here, Mengden, who is 24, is emulating Raleigh Fingers, or they could be his own look. Here is Navarro to lead things off, and he looks at a ball outside. I ran into Raleigh a couple of years ago. We did a Fox Sports trip out to Germany for spring training for some of our troops, and Raleigh was part of that. And despite his age, he is still in great shape, and he is still sporting that mustache.
Wow.
After all these years. I guess when it becomes part of your persona, it's just kind of hard to get rid of it.
Yeah, people probably would not recognize Raleigh if he did not have the mustache.
Navarro, Matuk, and Hicks in the Tiger 4th, down by a run.
Guys, those A's teams had a lot of characters, including Raleigh Fingers, didn't they? Gene Tennis, Sal Bando, Bert Campaneris, Reggie Jackson, Joe Rudy. Those guys had a ton of characters with Vida Blue and Blue Moon Odom, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm still mad at Bert Campaneris for the 1971 bat throwing incident. Yeah, with Larry McGraw. I'm not past that yet.
What a jerk. Me too.
It's only been a million years. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Navarro had a single in the second. Now the 2-2. Got him, strike 3 in the outside corner. You know, it's tough being Craig Monroe sometimes. He's trying to get back to the set to join Shep, and, well, got to sign autographs.
Yeah, got to sign them. That's what you got to do. Take pictures, too.
What about the towel?
Kiss the babies, too. Selfies.
Just to towel it off, huh? Look at that.
It's a warm one today.
He loves everybody, though, man.
He might as well be the mayor.
Yeah, no doubt. He might be in his own mind right now, to be honest.
You know it.
You guys are cold, man.
I get that, but I always have to pay the people after.
Here's Mikey Batuk. 1 gone here in the 4th, and Mikey looks at ball 1.
Whatever happened to having to keep your foot on the rubber all the time? Take a look at Mengden. I mean, he's constantly picking his foot up and taking it off the rubber, and then he finally puts it in front of the rubber before delivering the pitch. I mean, he takes it off 2 or 3 different times. I thought there was a rule that said that you have to have your foot on the rubber at all times.
I guess I need to see the windup. Let's see.
Off. Off.
I guess technically he's tapping it with the.
And if he really wanted to cheat when he put it down for that final time, he can come a couple of inches in front of that mound. It's been done before now.
1-1. 1-2 on Batuk. Little chopper left side of the infield. Glove there by Chapman. 2 away. The one thing I've always wondered, Rod, about windups like this is how much extra energy you expend throughout the course of the game when you multiply this windup time after time after time.
I think he does expend a lot of energy, but I also think that he's so deliberate in everything that he does out there that he's able to gather himself before each pitch. I mean, he takes as much time between pitches as the clock will give you. I mean, he's 30 seconds between every single pitch, and sometimes he's beyond 30. He's the reason why the commissioner wants to implement a pitch clock.
Well, from what Gibby tells me, and he's seen it in the minor leagues quite a bit the last couple of years, he says it really works and it really speeds games up. That's in the air to right field, hit pretty deep. Still going back to the track and right to the front of the warning track is Joyce to retire Hicks. 1-2-3 inning. Anibal Sanchez got the strikeout pitches going today. fifth inning, and tomorrow Major League Baseball is on FS1 with the postseason approaching. Brian Dozier and the Twins are fighting for every win as they face Ian Kinsler and the Tigers tomorrow at 7 Eastern on FS1. So here's Mr. Sanchez going back to the mound, and the strikeout that he had of Bruce Maxwell in the fourth inning was his 1,400th career strikeout. He's got 6 of them for the game today. Goes back to work and throws strike one to Marcus Semien. Semien, then Joyce, then Lowry. One run on 3 hits for the A's. No runs, 4 hits for the Tigers. Two and one.
Anibal Sanchez, 10 of 19 so far today in first pitch strikes.
That is the 15th swing and miss that he's gotten here today. He's a little over halfway over his total of last start of 11 strikeouts, with 6 this afternoon. Here's the 2-2. Semien backs out of there. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And now if you're Semien, you really don't know what you're going to get from Sanchez because he's thrown all of his pitches and he's thrown the ability to throw them all for strikes today.
To left field. And it finally nestles in the glove of Presley, and 1 out.
And pitch usage today for Sanchez. He's thrown his fastball about 55% of the time. That would be between the 4-seam and the cutter. He's used that changeup quite a bit, 24%. We thought that that might be his plan of attack against a team that's by and large young and a team that swings and misses quite often.
Here's Matt Joyce.
It's funny how he's going about his business. Totally different here today from 5 days ago where he was pounding the White Sox hitters inside with a lot of fastballs.
He's gotten 7 swings and misses on changeups this afternoon, and there's a wave and a miss.
Make that 8.
Strikeout flyout for Joyce. The 1-1. Sanchez, his longest outing this year, 6 1/3. Actually 6 2/3. Take it back. He did that against the Orioles. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Got him. Strike 3. Joyce caught looking, and Hannibal now with 7 strikeouts.
He's thrown so many really good changeups today with 2 strikes that Joyce got caught looking for something soft here and got a 92 mile-per-hour fastball that was on the outside black and located in a really nice area. And for strike 3.
Jed Lowry on base 2 more times in this game, a single and a walk. And he has been their best player in this series. 8 RBIs so far in this 3-game set.
He's probably been their most consistent hitter all season with the 14 homers and the 64 ribbies, 280 batting average, stabilizing that second base position.
Young players in a rebuild are one thing, but you still need some veterans sprinkled in.
Veterans that play the game the right way, and Lowry would fall into that category. He's a gamer.
Here's the 1-1.
He has constantly had himself in really nice, friendly fastball counts all series long. That doesn't mean he's going to get a fastball here from Sanchez, but this is a nice, friendly fastball count.
2-2 now on Lowry. Sanchez has not had a 1-2-3 inning yet in this game. Popped up, middle of the infield. He's about to get one. It'll be Iglesias in a 1-2-3 fifth inning. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
Time for a Dodge game break, and before the Tigers and the A's took the field this morning, the Tigers hosted the Class Outside Series, and that was hosting several hundred high school students at a career day here at Comerica Park. I was fortunate enough to be among those who presented to the kids today, and I told them, we're not in the television business. Mario, you guys know this. We're in the emotional transportation business. And certainly lately there have been a lot of emotions here at Comerica Park, from that walk-off the other night to Matt Boyd's almost no-hitter to last night's emotional downfall. We've had a lot of emotion at the ballpark lately, guys, and that's what I imparted to the kids. We're all about emotion here at Fox Sports Detroit.
Yeah, we are in the foul ball incident, or the home run incident, I should say, in which that young man got the home run from the gentleman that caught it. That's all emotions that are sometimes unseen here at the ballpark, but great stuff.
Yeah, stuff you can't script.
Romine getting things started here in the bottom of the fifth, facing Mingden. And a strike called. 1-2 now on Romine. Iglesias and then Presley for the Tigers. Mingden had a 1-2-3 fourth. Swing and a miss, and Romy is out of there. Here is Chevrolet's most dependable player. The most 20 homer seasons of active second baseman, with 5 of them with Kinsler now. And Rod, is Kinsler in the lineup today?
Well, Trevor took him and picked the stick, so he must be in, right?
No, he's not. Trev took somebody and picked the stick. That is not in the lineup today.
I was waiting for the later innings when he comes up as a pinch hitter and bangs one out of here.
Oh, that's the
I'm
strategy.
calling my shot. How's that?
I'll tell you what, Trev, if he does, man, I'll come down there and shake your hand.
Now, that's kind of cold, though, Trev, because when you gave your pick to the producer, he probably should have told you, but he didn't, did he?
Well, as you just saw, I was helping the guys out here with career day, and I was talking to the kids. My turn came up in the lineup. I naturally thought Kinsler's going to have a day. Didn't think much more of it until I got in the hot seat and got roasted by you guys for taking a guy who wasn't in the lineup. But I still maintain he's going to have an impact on this game.
We are in the emotional transportation business. So what were your emotions when you found out the guy wasn't in the lineup that you selected?
Enraged
Anchor
comes to mind.
There's a slow roller to third, and he's going to be thrown out by Chapman. They're 2 gone. Enraged.
Embarrassed?
Well, you took it like a champ. And as you say, you never know. He could
Never know.
You never know. You guys know this more than most. Anytime you come to the ballpark, you're liable to see something you've never seen before.
Well, just like you the other day, Trevor, you were almost part of another no-hitter, and the no-hitters just seem to follow you. Every time you're in the ballpark and you're down in that position where you're hosting or you're in the ballpark, there's always a near no-hitter to be thrown.
And I'm ready for the moment, too. I hide my cell phone so I don't get it wet in the Gatorade shower. I've learned a few things along the way.
Yeah, you were a pro in that last one when they dumped that water on Boyd and his one-hitter. You got out of the way quickly.
You see these things coming. You got to have your head on a swivel, Rod, you know.
Messing up those Versace suits.
Versace, you've got me mixed up with the players here, Mario. Maybe one of those guys should replace one of the suits they've ruined with the Versace. I would take that.
There you go. Presley looks at a ball high, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Tigers just haven't been able to put a whole lot of hits together today against Mengden. With that slow, deliberate delivery, the double pump wind up every now and then. He just pumps once.
Another line drive. This one a little softer. It loops into left field and a base hit for Presley.
That's what Presley does.
5 hits in the series now for Presley.
Straight changeup. He waited as long as he could, barreled it up right over the shortstop's head for another solid single for Alex.
Tying run is on now with 2 outs. It'll bring him Candelario, who doubled off the wall in right field in his first at bat, 1 for 2. Tigers now have 5 hits. A's have only 3 hits.
And last night, 17 runs scored between the 2 squads and a boatload of hits.
Ball 1 to Candelario. Jamer now 2 out of 10. One ball and 1 strike. Got Miggy waiting on deck.
And Miggy singled his last time up on a 3-2 pitch. He went right back up the middle.
And it set up the best scoring opportunity the Tigers have had. First and third with 2 outs, but Castellanos flied out. And now 2-1 on Candelario. Twice the Tigers have had a runner at third with 2 away, but failed to cash in. Line drive, right field side. It's going to drop, base hit. Presley is on his way to third base, and he is in there standing up. And again, the Tigers have them at the corners.
That is just a really nice piece of hitting by Candelario. The count's 2-1, so you're looking fastball, but look how patient he is when his hands stay back with the separation. That's an 81-mile-per-hour changeup, and he looks perfect as far as executing that swing on that pitch.
Two-out chance now for Cabrera. Fouled away, 0-1. Miggy now with 4 hits in this series. He had a 3-hit game yesterday. Mingden's 0-1. Fly ball right field. Chasing Joyce back to the warning track to make the catch, and the Tigers will strand 2 more.
pitchers here today, and Daniel Mengden and Anibal Sanchez, 5 innings. 3 hits given up by Sanchez, 6 by Mengden. A couple of Ks for Mengden. Anibal has 7 strikeouts.
Now Sanchez here in the 6th inning now in a 1-0 ball game. It'll be Chris Davis, their cleanup man, to lead things off. Davis, Olson, and then Pinder. The only run coming in the 3rd for Oakland, back-to-back doubles, Maxwell and Semien, and that has been it. Ball 1 to Chris Davis. Action for the Tigers.
Well, that is one thing that Brad will do. Anytime Anibal Sanchez goes out for the 6th inning, he always has somebody warming up in the bullpen to back Sanchez up. And I think you brought it up, Mario, last time, that Sanchez pretty much has not pitched into the 7th inning all year.
He's done it only a couple of times in all the starts that he's had this year, and that's really something that all Tiger starters have struggled to do.
I don't know why it is with Sanchez, but for whatever reason, he has fallen into quite a bit of trouble in the 6th inning. And Brad not going to get caught off guard here today.
The 1-1. Two and 2 on Chris Davis.
Nice changeup here, and another swing and miss for Anibal Sanchez on that really good changeup.
Davis has 191 strikeouts this year. Jack Cust is their franchise leader at 197. So Chris, with the home runs, also has a chance to have the season high in whiffs, or Ks, I should say.
Jack Cust had a lot of power too. I think Cust was the former #1 draft choice of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Never really played all that long in the big leagues, but man, he had big power in the minor leagues.
2 and 2. Judge leading the league in strikeouts. Here's the 2-2. That ball skied in the air to right field. Castellanos cruising over. Now in. And 1 gone. Well, we want to send some best wishes out right now to one of the loved members of our Fox family, Mark Dorsey, who is one of our tape operators and is one of the best in the business, who accompanies us on the road and here at home. He is in the hospital right now. And Dorsey, we just want to know that want you to know we're thinking of you. And all of us here at Fox Sports Detroit want to say get well soon. We'll see you back in the truck as soon as you can.
Yep, we're praying for Doris.
Here's Matt Olson now with 1 out. There's a strike called on the outer edge. A couple of strikeouts for Olson, and so he's got that big power, but a couple of whiffs today as well.
Yeah, both of those strikeouts by Olson today against Sanchez has come on fastballs. And he continues to throw fastballs at Olson, and Olson has been late on most of the fastballs all afternoon long. He was tardy on that one. That might be one of the better fastballs that Sanchez has thrown today at 93 miles an hour.
Got him set up 0-2 here. He went away with the fastball 1-2.
I guess a byproduct of all the strikeouts Sanchez has today, 7, has elevated his pitch count to 104.
Yeah, it's much higher than Mengden's, the A's starter. 1-2, the count stays. So the 105 right now is a season high in pitches for Anibal Sanchez. 2-2. Chad Pinder waiting on deck. Tigers wrapping up this series, and they've got Minnesota the next 4 days before they embark on their final road trip of 2017. Don't forget, tomorrow night's game is on FS1. Way high. Now he's gone from 0-2 to 3-2.
5 straight fastballs as well. You wonder if he'll come back with something soft here. He's already punched him out with a couple of strikeouts, a couple of times with the fastball.
Warm afternoon, beautiful day here in the Motor City. 79 degrees right now. And he lost him. It's a 1-out walk. Third of the game now for Sanchez. That'll bring up Chad Pinder. On base twice, an error and a walk. Fly ball to center field. Mikey Matuk is under it, and the runner will hold. There are 2 gone. Pinder retired on 1 pitch. Bring up Chapman. Tigers in that opener against the Twins tomorrow night have Jordan Zimmerman returning to the rotation. He'll get the start in game 1. Sim battling that neck, had an injection, and has been able to throw a couple of bullpens, and they said he's ready to go. There's ball 1 to Chapman.
As a pitcher or position player, you always want to get out there before the season is over. You just want to go into the offseason knowing that you finished the year healthy, and I'm sure that's one of the reasons why Jordan Zimmerman is going to get the ball on Thursday. You don't want to go into spring training with anything lingering that you didn't find out whether it was going to be okay at the end of the year.
Michael Fulmer had surgery on his elbow, and they say he will be good to go. Had that nerve moved in his elbow, so he should be good to go for spring training. And then you got Zim, and then really a pretty good competition next year in the rotation for the Tigers.
Well, I think Boyd's going to be in the rotation.
Meanwhile, 3-0 on Chapman. Came up empty on 3-0, 3-1.
You don't think so on Boyd?
No, I believe you. I'm with you on Boyd, absolutely. Boyd showed in his last start that when he is on and when he is good, I mean, the flashes are definitely there.
They would love for Daniel Norris to finish strong and have a great spring and take care of one of those 5 spots in spring training as well. That's what they would love for him to do. It's going to be up to Daniel.
Got him, strike 3. Tried to coax a walk. Chapman is out of there. 8 strikeouts for Sanchez. brought to you by Bell Tire. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevy, the only brand to earn J.D. Power Dependability Awards for cars, trucks, and SUVs 2 years in a row. Sparkling day here at the ballpark. The Tigers and the Athletics in the final game of the series.
Those guys are lost.
This is not the American League West.
Old-fashioned green and gold uniforms on that fan has on.
Castellanos has moved out of there and pitch inside 1-0. Nick the Navarro the Montauk. 1 run has 3 hits for the A's. No runs, 6 hits.
And Nicholas has flew out twice today. Once to center and once to right.
Two and 0.
Take a look at Nick in the batter's box and what he's doing to slow himself down before Mengden decides to deliver the baseball. He's just going to put the bat on his shoulder and just wait. Now he's going to wait. Now he's going to wait until he starts his delivery. And then once he starts his delivery, he picks the hands up off of and puts them up. This is what he's doing.
Little looper that's going to go foul to first base.
Because generally speaking, Nicholas is already in the hit position when most pitchers are pitching to him. But Mengden takes so much time in between. You have to do something to make sure that your timing is better. And this is the remedy that he's found.
Nicholas 0 for 2 trying to extend the hitting streak, which right now is at 16 straight.
It's almost like a softball stance for Nicholas.
Pulled foul. Looks like he's got that hesitation timed. It's the second hesitation is when he starts his first movement.
But there are times, and I told you this, where Mengden, he will only do it 1 time. And this might be that time where he kind of tries to quick pitch Castellanos to see if they can catch him off guard. And it's the catcher, Maxwell, that tells him to do so.
And there's a soft line drive base hit. Hitting streak extended in his third at bat, a single for Castellanos. Leadoff man aboard. That'll bring up Navarro.
Well, apparently the timing working for Castellanos, who goes down to the bottom of the strike zone and lofts one right over the shortstop Marcus Simeon's head.
Tigers now have 7 hits. They've out-hit the A's 7-3.
I was listening to Nicholas Castellanos' post-game comments after the game last night with Matt Shepard. And he was saying, Mario, exactly what we have been talking about, that how he feels playing right field now. He said when he was playing third base, he was always thinking about making mistakes and always thinking about the plays that he wasn't making, and it kind of clouded his mind, and it took away from the fun that he's having in the game, and it also took away from his offense a little bit. But now in right field, he says he's just a happy-go-lucky kind of guy and just having a whole lot of fun playing baseball.
See, that's where I got it wrong. I thought a new position would cause a whole new level of stress, at least initially. But apparently he's had the opposite effect. Runner goes, and a foul back.
Don't see many hit and runs, but that must have been a hit and run there with Navarro in the batter's box in a 1-0 count. Although Nicholas did steal a base last night.
Daniel Stump in the Tigers bullpen.
Castellanos got them white shoes on. He must be feeling fast these days.
They do make you faster, it's proven.
Make you look faster too.
Scientific studies prove you're faster with white shoes. Ryan Dull warming up. And a toss back. Nick was only a step off the bag. Navarro had a single back in the second. He is 1 for 2 in this game. Ming's pitch count right now is standing at 85. And to this point, he is not allowed to run. You mentioned he threw the shutout in his last start. Swing and a miss. Navarro this year at AAA, 10 home runs, 61 RBIs. A lot of years in the minors for Efren. Mentioned last night he spent parts of 11 seasons playing minor league baseball with some sprinkled stops in the big leagues. Swing and a miss. He was tardy and down he goes. One gone. Mingden gets his third strikeout. Fans, if you can't get your games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. That'll bring up Mikey Matuk. Mikey, a line out and a ground out. Jammed him up and in, and Mikey couldn't hold up. 0-1. Matuk missed a few games with a sore groin. He's been back for a few days now. Out in center field today. Nick not a very big lead at first base. Here's the 0-1. Popped up. Shallow right field. It's Wendell, the second baseman, called off. Man, the right fielder Joyce had to make a basket catch. 2 gone.
And Joyce calling it all the way, but I don't think Wendell heard him until late.
That'll bring up John Hicks. Hicks has put the ball in the air twice to right field. He's 0 for 2. Ball 1. Anibal Sanchez today goes 6. He is likely done for the day. Anibal struck out at least one batter in every inning. He will finish with 8 punchouts in 6 innings. 1 run, just 3 hits. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Back-to-back really good starts for Sanchez.
Runner will go and move up. Castellanos got a nice break and moves up on a ball in the dirt.
And I told you last night, if you weren't with us, that the Oakland A's, they lead the world in wild pitches.
They got another one. The world is a big place.
Yeah. They got 82 of them.
Here's the 2-1. Popped up. First base side, foul ground. It's going to be Olsen, and that'll end the inning. No runs, a hit, 1 man left.
Against the Chicago White Sox, he started most of those guys off with fastballs inside and finished them off with really good breaking balls and also changeups and fastballs elevated. And today, quite different here against the swinging A's. A lot of off-speed pitches, finishing guys off with fastballs up top. He's had great command today. In the 6 innings that he was out there, made very few mistakes over the heart of the dish, if any.
At least 1 strikeout in every innings for Sanchez this afternoon. He will give way now to Daniel Stump in a wall-side windows change.
It's been a really good year for Stump. You can see he loves his fastball. He throws it 61% of the time, and when not throwing that fastball, he's got that slide piece. He loves the feature 32% of the time, and a changeup. A handful of changeups every now and then thrown by Daniel.
Franklin Barreto will pinch hit here against Stump, and ball 1 missing high and away. Stump has been a really good find for the Tigers this year, pitching out of the bullpen. 2.10 ERA since the beginning of July for the Tigers. Swing and a miss.
He's pitched so well this year that going into spring training next year, he will probably have a leg up on one of those spots in the Tiger bullpen.
Barreto fouls it back, and the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He's definitely hasn't done anything to hurt those chances with the numbers that he's posted.
Daniel out of Humble, Texas. Rule 5 selection from the Royals. Got to the big leagues with the Phillies briefly, and that was prior to this year, his only major league experience. 7 games with the Phils. One and 2 on Franklin Barreto, the #1 prospect in the A's system. Barreto played last night, was 1 for 5 in the ball game. And he'll take up high, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Everything to Barreto at the top of the strike zone, all fastballs, all 91 to 93. And literally everything up top.
Swing and a miss.
Ooh, and then he changed his eye level and went downstairs.
Barreto is gone. We bring in Trevor Thompson.
Mario, you like this look? Do I look like me?
Goodness.
Or who do I look like?
I'm not sure.
This is the giveaway for all the kids 14 and under on Sunday. Sunday Fun Day, Sunday Kids Day here down at the ballpark.
You look like Daniel Norris.
Daniel Norris. We've got a winner. the Daniel Norris cap beard giveaway.
It's
gonna be coming
a
on
dead
Sunday.
giveaway.
Hey, and guess who was wearing this inside the clubhouse, but I missed it pregame?
Who?
My man Kinsler.
Really?
Yeah, I'm told that he had a James Harden look going as they were playing basketball with the hoop they have there in the lounge area.
Now, does that come with the van as well, or just the beard and the hat?
I would take the keys to a van right about now, but I think it's just the beard and the hat.
You drive Shaggy?
I would, absolutely, absolutely. But I'm wondering, what do you guys think? What do you think?
I like it. Very nice.
You're rolling. You're rolling.
Yeah.
Fashion statement.
So I had to lose the jacket. It's too hot, so I put on a toque instead. So I don't know.
Better be careful down there. 5-0 might try to run you down.
Did you just say toque?
Toque. You know where I'm from, the Great White North.
That's right. Wing season right around the corner,
It's
too.
little French in there. Toque with a Q.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Bruce Maxwell. He is 1 for 2 with a double, scoring game's only run, and he looks at a ball outside, 2-2. Little looper into left field, and it's going to drop. Base hit. Opposite field single for Maxwell, his second hit here this afternoon.
And Maxwell was batting only 167 against left-handers before getting that base hit the opposite way.
That'll bring up Marcus Semien.
For the most part, Maxwell doesn't play all that much against lefties, but I would imagine that the reason Bob Melvin didn't pinch hit for him is the fact that he's been handling Mingden so well on the mound. He didn't want to disrupt that.
It was only the 4th hit of the ball game today for the A's offense. And more action in the Tigers bullpen. That'll be Drew Verhagen.
Brad's been leaning on Verhagen and guys like Stumpf quite often out of the bullpen.
Yeah, those two guys have got a chance to show their wares here in September.
Right. Hasn't really had a chance to use Shane Green all that much lately. Shane Green at one point in time when he was setting up for Justin Wilson, he was on pace to lead the American League in appearances.
He was on pace, Green was, to get nearly 80 appearances this year. It was going to be upper 70s.
Yeah. But now he's the closer, obviously not pitching as much as he was earlier.
Sanchez goes 6, Stump here in the 7th. A much more sedate game today compared to the first 2 in the series, where both teams had quite a few more hits. That one just missed, and now the count goes 3-1 on Semien.
And only a handful of day games today. New York Yankees are beating up on the Minnesota Twins again today.
Oh, 10-3.
Yeah.
The Twins had a 3-0 lead early in that game. Oh, that ball belted to left field. It is way back, and it's going to go.
That's why you got to stay out of those 3-1 counts, those friendly fastball counts, where that hitter just knows he's going to get a fastball. Semien smoked that thing.
7th home run of the season for Marcus Semien, a 2-run shot, and the A's now lead 3-0.
And the pitch was 93 miles an hour. Semien knew he was going to get a fastball from Daniel, and it split the plate, and that's a good swing by Semien.
Big day for Semien. He's knocked in all 3 of the A's runs. Here is Matt Joyce. Joyce has fanned twice in this game. He has a fly ball as well. Came up with the Tigers system, but only spent 1 year at the major league level with the Tigers.
How'd they get him in? Edwin Jackson deal?
Jackson. They traded him to the Rays for Jackson.
Jackson made an all-star team his first year with the Tigers. Only here for 1 year.
Joyce, meanwhile, went on to have a couple of pretty good years with the Rays. And now it's Jimenez warming up in the Tigers pen. Played with the Angels in 2015 and then Pittsburgh last year.
He's been well traveled for a guy that's relatively young.
Wave and a miss. 2-2 on Joyce. The A's today have only 5 hits, but they've made pretty good use of a couple of them. RBI double by Semien, now a 2-run homer by Semien. Popped up, shallow left. Iglesias backpedaling. And Iggy hauls it in. 2 gone now. That'll bring up Jed Lowry. Lowry a single and a walk to his credit today. Jed had 8 RBIs in the first 2 games of the series. Ball 1. Tigers will end up the season in Kansas City and Minnesota. They'll play the road trip through those 2 cities next week. And there's a possibility, I think Brad wanted to wait to the final game of the year to see if Romine would play all 9 positions in 1 game. Here's the remaining schedule. If it were to happen, it would have to happen the final game of the season. I don't think he would do it in KC, even if the Royals fall out of it, and they are certainly on life support.
Yeah, Brad was talking a couple of days ago. He just wants to make sure when he does do it that it's in a situation where it does not interrupt the integrity of the game, especially when you have a team like Minnesota that's playing for something.
Last player to do it was a Tiger, Shane Halter. In fact, Brad played in that game. Here's the 2-1. That's in the air, right side. Navarro in foul ground. And that'll end the inning. However, a 2-run shot for Semien extends the lead for the A's. The Cleveland Indians are the first American League team to win 25 of 26 in a stretch, and the run differential is amazing, over 100.
They've had a special year, no doubt.
Max Scherzer, 250 strikeouts again. Max, of course, is going to be a key cog for them as they go to the postseason.
Maxwell might win his 3rd Cy Young this year, partner. It'll be 3 of them for Max.
That's pretty good. Franklin Barreto will stay in the game and play second base. I think the Cy Young in the American League now is leaning toward Kluber. I think he's had a better second half than Chris Sale, although Sale, I think, has a better WAR.
Yeah, I saw that a couple days ago, but I think Kluber has pitched so well down the stretch, and you also had the 22-game winning streak that the Cleveland Indians were on, and the entire country was watching them. I think that's going to sway some votes into Kluber's area.
That's a good point. He was pitching extremely well in that stretch that they had going.
I mean, a 2.35 ERA for Kluber, 17 wins. He spent some time on the disabled list. That's why Sale has made a couple of more starts than him, but you can't go wrong with either guy. But I think the guy that's doing it late in the season will get it over the guy that clearly was getting it done early in the year, and that was Chris Sale.
Here's the 2-2, and he got him, strike 3. Bending one in there, one gone. Romine is out of there. 4 punch outs. Here's our showstopper. See what happened last night at Anaheim? J-Up went deep. Now, if he hit it in that paint can there, $1 million would have been donated to the Angels charity. The problem is it bounced into the paint can.
Oh, give him the $1 million.
Nope, they're not going to do it.
Well, that's easy for us to say because it's not our $1 million.
Well, absolutely.
Well, Shep, you got $1 million.
Never. Never. But listen, what didn't the rules say? The homer would have to land inside. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the ball isn't done landing until it lands, and it landed in the paint can. So
well,
I'm kind of with Rod there.
Well, it's $1 million. You know they're going to find a loophole.
Yeah, right.
I disagree. I think once the ball hits the ground, it has landed. Regardless of whether or not it bounces up, it has landed. Hasn't it?
So you agree with them then?
Well, no, I'm saying give them the $1 million for charity. Come on. But, and I haven't read the contract. I'm sure that contract is only like a paragraph or something. I'm sure it's not like 10 pages long.
There's some hidden words in there, you know it.
Yeah.
Iglesias is out of the bounce out.
I don't know, Mario. If a home run is hit to right,
okay,
and it hits on a step, or
okay.
how about this? The 3 of us are playing golf.
Well,
and you hit one of your
go ahead.
And you hit one of your patented drives right down the middle of the fairway, and it lands 300 yards like it usually does, but it then rolls another 25.
Okay.
Did you not hit it 325 yards?
All right. Well, let me give you this scenario. You hit a fly ball to right field, and it bounces off a seat, and then rolls another 10 feet. Where do they count
the extra 10 feet?
Do they count the extra 10 feet?
Oh yeah.
Seriously?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You sure?
Well, Justin Upton's that solo bomb was 444 feet. I guess is they tacked on just that couple extra feet after it hit the grass.
All right. Well,
that's, by the way, his career high 32nd, fellas.
I know it.
He's still balling. Good for him.
Well, I am with you guys on this, man. Give him the $1 million.
Yeah, we had a feeling that J-Up was on the verge of having a special season as that lady's fired up about that foul ball.
It's like she just won $1 million.
You know it.
Nope.
No, you're not getting this ball.
Foul back, 0-2. Presley is the hitter. There is action in the bullpen for the Athletics. Got a righty-lefty combination. Dull and Moe warming up. Mingden with the 0-2.
Meanwhile, Tigers have not been able to figure out Mr. Mingden here today, who pitched a complete game shutout 5 days ago against the fighting Phillies. He only gave up 2 hits in that game, did not walk a batter.
Slap to left field. It's going to hang up there for Davis, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning. 7 in the books. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Detroit and the community since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. And there's the most excited fan in the ballpark today. That foul ball has absolutely made her day. Meanwhile, Mingden tossing a beauty here against the Tigers this afternoon as the Athletics lead by a score of 3-0.
Well, you see him patting his catcher on the shoulder, Bruce Maxwell. He did not shake Bruce Maxwell off one time here today. And Maxwell, for the second consecutive start, led Mingden beautifully.
Wallside Windows pitching change. It'll be Jimenez coming in now for the Tigers. There's a ball low and away to Chris Davis, who leads things off. Davis, then Olsen, then Pinder. Tigers down by 3 this afternoon, despite out hitting the Athletics 7-5. Here's a young man in Jimenez who can really benefit from a good final week and a half here. I don't know how many appearances he'll get the rest of the way, but if he could just go into the offseason with a couple of good ones under his belt, that would help tremendously.
Yeah, not only him, but it will also help in the decision process next year and for the Tigers. I wonder if he will play any winter ball this year in Puerto Rico. A lot of times the guys will at some point in time play some winter ball. They might not play the entire season, but in Jimenez's case, it might not be all bad to throw a few innings in winter ball.
Davis is 0 for 3. He went. Oh, I guess not. Ron Culpa said he held up.
Tigers have done a very nice job against Davis of just keeping the ball away from him. He does have really good power to drive the ball to opposite field, but that's usually on balls that are inside.
3 for 12. All 3 hits are singles. And there's another one. Leadoff base hit here in the 8th.
He pretty much has taken what the Tigers have given him. They haven't really given him a whole lot to hit with the 39 homers, as you would expect. And he has simply taken those singles.
Hayes will have a pinch runner now at first base. Smolinski has come in to pinch run. Here's Matt Olson. Two strikeouts and a walk for Olson, who's trying to keep his streak going. He's homered in 5 straight games. Now Jimenez with the 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strikeout. Olson. Olson came to the big leagues for the first time last September, and his first appearance in the major leagues not nearly going as swimmingly as it is now. He was only 2 for 21 last September. Big year in the minors this year, big year in the majors.
You know what part of Jimenez's numbers are, partner? Is the leadoff hitter in which the inning that he comes into the game, they get on base about 40% of the time against him. And he's always in the stretch. I mean, every time he comes in the game, he has a tough inning simply because he cannot retire that leadoff hitter.
Dahl in the bullpen now alone for the A's. Well, the leadoff man has gotten on here. Fouled off the mask, and the count now is 1-2 on Olson.
If you weren't with us before the game, we told you that Olson has 23 homers since coming up from the minor leagues, and he hasn't been in the big leagues that long. And 22 singles, so he has more homers than he has base hits.
That'll back him out of there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Everybody talking about Olson in the American League and Rhys Hoskins over in the National League, and how home runs have become such a big part of the game. But it also seems like strikeouts are now being looked at as, oh well, it's part of the game.
Yeah,
Whatever.
they're okay now.
As long as guys are hitting the ball out of the ballpark. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout.
And Tigers might be on to something here against Olson. And that's the 3rd strikeout today on fastballs. Sanchez got him twice with fastballs.
MLB.com and Pat is your #1 mobile app for live Tigers baseball. Stay connected with fully customizable experiences. Get Tigers home screen icons, app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, and more. MLB.com and Pat. Get it today. Swing and a miss. Tigers pitching today with 10 strikeouts. Last night, Tigers punched out 14. Here's the 0-1. No balls and 2 strikes. Every time I think about all the strikeouts in the game today, and I know the game changes, it does from decade to decade. It seems like there are different eras and different ways that the game has evolved. But I always go back to Al Kaline saying, I used to be embarrassed when I struck out.
I think most guys were that way, generally speaking, partner.
There's another punch out, 2 gone. They have now struck out, the A's have, in 17 consecutive innings.
25 total during that span.
Now Matt Chapman with 2 outs. 3-0 A's have the lead here in the 8th.
But yet they've won the first 2 games of the series.
They have indeed. So they have found a way despite all the strikeouts. Now the 0-1. Two and 1 on Chapman. Strikeout, pop up, fly out. 11 strikeouts in this game for the Tiger staff. Let's look at the A's box. They got 1 in the 3rd and then 2 in the 7th. Semien has knocked in all 3 for Oakland. Two and 2.
A little late life on that 97 mile per hour fastball featured there by Jimenez. And just about every fastball has been 95 and above. And here comes another one.
Got a piece to stay alive.
And for the most part, John Hicks caught Jimenez quite a bit while they were down in the minor leagues this season. And apparently it's Hicks that is calling for all these fastballs. Slider coming now.
Pulled on the ground to 3rd. Gobbled up by Candelario. He'll throw to 2nd for the Forest to retire the side. Here comes the bottom of the 8th.
Candelario has 2 of those. He nearly hit his 3rd homer as a Tiger in 19 games that he's been in. Later, he would come up in the ball game against their starter, Daniel Mengden, and took a ball that was nearly off his shoe tops with a solid single the opposite way. So 2 more knocks today for the Tigers' rookie third baseman.
Tigers have some ground to make up now as we have a Wallside Windows pitching change. Ryan Dull will check in for the A's.
Dull checks in with a .450 earned run average. He's been in 45 games prior to the game here this evening, today I should say. He does have 18 holds, 42 strikeouts against just 14 base on balls for Dull.
Mengden retired the last 6 in a row that he faced.
Tigers couldn't figure him out, buddy.
He threw 106 pitches, didn't walk anybody, struck out 4. And now here is Candelario facing Ryan Dull, and the first one is grounded up the middle. But Semien is there and 1 gone.
It's a 2nd consecutive start where their starter, Daniel Mengden, did not walk a batter. He's in line to win again here today. Dull has a fastball that gets up to about 93. And when not throwing that fastball, lots of sliders and a handful of changeups. My guess is he uses the slider to the righties and the changeup to the left-handers.
Dull was on the DL with a knee problem earlier this year, but since coming off the disabled list, has posted an ERA a little over 3 in 27 games. Ball outside, 1-1 on Cabrera. Miguel 1 for 3 today. One and 2 on Miggy. Reininger and Green warming up in the Tigers pen.
Shane Green just in case. Yeah, the Tigers take the lead some kind of way here in this inning.
Sky to right field. It's going to be playable for Joyce, and there are 2 gone. What do we have tomorrow? Here is the upcoming matchup presented by Wallside Windows. It's going to be the Twins coming in, and Jordan Zimmerman on the hill for the Tigers.
Alberto Mejia will be towing the rubber for the Minnesota Twins. He's pitched 89 2/3 this year with a 4.62 ERA. Of course, Jordan hadn't pitched in a while.
Tomorrow night, that game on FS1.
Which means we have the night off.
We'll do the final 3 in that series and then hit the road for the final road trip. Here's Castellanos, and he looks at a strike. Eight straight retired now by the A's. It's a fan appreciation weekend coming up here at the Yard. The 0-1 pitch. There's a fly ball to right, not deep, and Joyce coming in under that one. It's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Dull.
A's here on top of the Tigers. This 1-800-CALL-SAM update alongside Craig Monroe. I'm Matt Shepard. Detroit may be on the losing end of this score right now, but it's not because of Anibal Sanchez. He has been special here today. What made him so effective?
He had a real nice fastball changeup command, guys, today. He also had some real nice speed differential. He located his pitches extremely well. He pitched ahead in the count. Outstanding pitching performance by Anibal Sanchez.
Since Justin Verlander was traded away to Houston, 3 pitchers now have reached the 6th inning, including Anibal Sanchez today. The Tigers, when their starter goes 6 innings, are 47-35. If they want that 48th win, Mario and Rod, they're going to have to come from behind to get it done. Upstairs to you for the 9th.
All right, guys, thanks. In the meantime, the A's will bat here in the top of the 9th inning. A wall side windows pitching change. Zach Reiniger will take over now for the Tigers.
And Reiniger's got a nice arm. I mean, he has pitched 7 1/3 innings at this level. You can see he's given up 8 runs in the 7 games, but the arm speed and the velocity on the fastball in the mid-90s with regularity. He just has to locate a little bit better.
First pitch is popped up. Shallow center field, Matuk. And 1 pitch, 1 gone. Reininger this year an A-ball at Lakeland, AA at Erie, and AAA at Toledo.
It's not often that you make stops at all 3 levels and then get to the big leagues, but that's exactly what Reiniger has done this year.
Here's Bruce Maxwell now with 1 gone. Single, double, 2 runs scored. Ball 1. Tigers in the bottom of the 9th. They have Navarro, Matuk, and Hicks. The 3 batters due up in a 3-0 game right now. Here's the 1-1.
Looks like Dull's got the 9th.
A's pitching has retired the last 9 straight Tigers. Here's the 2-1. 3-1 now on Maxwell. Semien on deck. That's in the air to right center field, where Matuk is cruising over. Maxwell is out, 2 gone.
And Trinan, their closer, pitched in the first couple of games this series, so it doesn't look like he's going to pitch here today in the 9th.
Well, their offense has been all about Marcus Semien today. RBI double in the 3rd, 2-run homer in the 7th.
Yeah, usually the swinging A's are hitting the ball out of the ballpark, but they did it in a different way today. Their leadoff hitter got it done for them.
The 0-1. Sanchez went 6th, Stump in the 7th. Jimenez in the 8th, Reininger here in the 9th. Diving low, 2-1 on Semien. Bender in there for a strike.
Yeah, Semien born in San Francisco, so he plays close to home in Oakland.
27 home runs last year, had a wrist problem this year, which short-circuited his season. There's a ball low.
Who was he with before Oakland? You remember, top of your head?
I don't.
We'll find out right now.
I want to say the White
Chicago.
Sox, was it?
Yep,
Yeah.
Chicago. White Sox.
Sliced in the air to right center field. Castellanos under it, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Reininger. Let's go to the bottom of the ninth. Our game summary. Sanchez pitching well today, allowing 1 earned run in 6 innings of work with 8 strikeouts.
Sanchez pitched well enough to win here today, but Daniel Mengden on the other side was a little bit better. Did not give up a run in the 7 frames he pitched today.
Efrain Navarro will lead things off in the Tigers' 9th inning, down 3-0, and he fouls the first one back out of play. Navarro and then Matuk and then Hicks. Single strikeout for Navarro. That'll sail outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. A's staff now has retired 9 straight. Tigers' last hit was a Castellanos single in the 6th inning, which, by the way, extended his streak to 17 straight.
That is the longest streak in the majors.
Here's the 1-2. 2-2 now on Navarro.
Dull has 4 career saves in the majors, but none this year. Trying to get his first save of the 27 campaign.
Got to the big leagues for the first time 2 years ago in 2015. Dull last year appeared in 70 ball games for the A's.
He's got some nice sink on that 2-seamer running away from the left-handers. Velocity anywhere from 89 to 92.
Not bad for a guy that was a 32nd round pick. Low, he did not offer. Now 3-2 on Navarro.
Yeah, you don't get a whole lot of paper when you're drafted in the 32nd round. You get a plane ticket and say, go get him, son.
And nor do you get too many opportunities, or at least not as many as the high round draft choices.
No, you don't.
That plane ticket's not first class either, is it?
Oh, no.
3-2 is high. Ball 4. Dull has walked the leadoff man.
And there's probably a couple of connections in there, too.
Here's Matuk. Mikey in search of his first hit today. He's 0 for 3. Candelario today is single and a double. Cabrera base hit. Iglesias single. Talked about the Nick base hit. But really kind of slim pickings this afternoon as Tyler Collins now has gone to the on-deck circle.
Yeah, Tigers haven't had many opportunities today. They've stranded 7 runners, but most of those runners have been on first base. They have not had many opportunities today with runners in scoring position.
One and one on Matuk. You get Mikey on base here. You bring the Tiger run to the plate in Collins, and Green again warming up.
They also have some activity in their bullpen just in case Dole can't close this out.
Mikey drives one to left field. That is a diving try by Smolinski. He can't get it. It's up against the wall. Navarro will stop at third. It's going to be a double for Mikey Matuk. And the Tigers are in business here with nobody out in the ninth.
And Smolinski was a pinch runner last half inning, but put in there for his defense. That ball looked like it tipped right off of his glove, and the fact that he left his feet didn't really cost him a run here. Navarro was only able to get to third base as Dave Clark held him up there with nobody out. But usually when you leave your feet, that runner's able to score because it takes you a long time to get to the baseball. But Smolinski was playing very deep at the time.
Scott Emerson coming out now to have a chat with Doe. And now you got Collins, who has pop in his bat. He's one swing away from tying this one up.
Tigers do have some other thump on their bench today. James McCann did not start. He's got power. Ian Kinsler also has 20 homers this year and has homered in 2 straight games.
Collins looks at a strike, 0-1.
Yeah, Liam Hendricks getting loose in the A's bullpen.
Strike call now, 0-2 on Tyler.
It's tough to close out games in the big leagues. Dull had no problem in the 8th inning going through their 2, 3, 4, but struggling here in the 9th with the 25th, 26th, and 27th outs of the game. They're the toughest 3 to get always.
Well, Trinan and Casilla, the 2 guys that have experience closing out ball games, have both pitched in each of the first 2 games.
Right.
So they're trying to get Dull to get through this game here with Hendricks warming up. Here's the 1-2 swing and a miss, and Collins is down on strikes, 1 gone. Bring up Romine. Tigers with their best scoring chance of the day, a leadoff walk and a double. Ball 1.
So they had runners on first and third with nobody out.
2 outs.
2 outs.
That was back in the 5th inning. The 1-0 outside, 2-0 now on Romine.
Dull continues to miss against the left-handed bats on the outside part of the plate.
Dull got a ground ball, 2 fly balls in his 1-2-3/8. There's a drive to right field, base hit. 1 run scores. They're going to try and score Matuk. And he will. It's a 2-run single for Romine, and the Tigers are back to within 1.
And nice job here by Andrew Romine. That's a ball that's down at the bottom of the zone. It's a slider at 86, and most left-handers just love the ball down, and a real nice swing put on that baseball by Andrew. Drives in 2.
It's going to be it for Dull. Hendricks will be coming into the ball game, and we'll step aside a pitching change. One. And Liam Hendricks coming out of the bullpen.
67th game this year for Hendricks. He has 14 holds. The ERA sits at 4.43. He does have a legitimate strikeout pitch, 74 strikeouts. He's only walked 23, and you see that bottom note. He's inherited 33 base runners. Only 8 of those have come around to score. Tigers mounting a rally here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. It starts with that double that Smolinski left his feet on. Mikey Matuk ends up with a double. Sets the stage for Romine, who goes to the bottom of the zone to take that 86-mile-per-hour slider and whistle it to right for 2 stakes. Now that would be RBIs.
And now here is Iglesias in a 1-run game. Tigers have a man on, 1 out. Iglesias 1 for 3 this afternoon.
Come this far, they may as well go ahead and walk him off, right?
Might as well do it. Finish him off. Get a win in this series. And a ball outside, 1-0. Tigers cannot score until getting 2 here in the bottom of the 9th. Romine back in there. Andrew this year 5 steals, been caught 4 times. Here's the 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike. Top of the order, Presley on deck. Ooh, that one got the catcher Maxwell, who falls back and sits down. Well, he got dinged on that.
It's a hot afternoon as well. That's a 95-mile-per-hour fastball that really didn't change directions, even though he got a piece of it. He just sat down. Home plate umpire had to catch him. Still down.
He's dazed. Maxwell might have to come out of this game.
Well, it's starting to look like that, partner, just as a precaution. If they're going to err on the side of caution, you know it's going to be on the side that has him coming out of the game. Possibly. We'll see.
Kind of staggered to his feet.
Having a hard time putting his helmet on.
Well, he's going to stay in.
Catchers are tough.
Well, they're giving him a couple of warm-up pitches to catch. And apparently he's going to stay in the game.
No, he's done.
Nope. He is coming out.
He couldn't even reach up to catch that baseball. You see that? His reaction time is not good right now. It's a wise decision by Bob Melvin.
So Maxwell on a foul tip will come out of the ball game.
It's got to be a kind of a scary thing when you're Oakland, and when you leave here, you have such a long flight back to Southern California, you know, dealing with a guy that might have a possible, you know, concussion. Because you're not necessarily supposed to fly with those kinds of things, correct?
No, you're not. And I'm sure they'll keep a close eye on him. But you could tell, I mean, a lot of guys will take those direct hits and kind of shake it off. That immediately just buckled him.
But even on the two pitches that dulled through to him, the first one he didn't get glove on. And then the second one, he barely caught that one.
So Fegley will come in now to take over the catching duties.
Hey, Mario, wondering here for both Simo and Rod, do you try to steal here? Is it more likely that Bob Melvin calls for a pitch out? Is it more likely to throw over to first because the guy comes in cold like this?
Well, I don't know if you want to run yourself into an out, Chef. I mean, we gave you the numbers. Romine has 5 steals, but he's been caught 4 times. I mean, if he was a true base stealer, I mean, that thought might cross your mind to get him down in the scoring position. But I would hate to have Romine thrown out at second base attempting to steal here when his run means so much. But I like the idea, though.
I like the idea too, Roddy. But what I was thinking, if Maxwell would have stayed in, I definitely think it would have been a good time to go and try to take this back here. But with the new catcher, Fegley, maybe not, because Rod's right. You don't want to run yourself into an out here when you've got a chance to win this ball game.
Hendricks does not do a very good job, though, Shep, at making sure that the opposition doesn't steal bags against him. The catchers have only thrown out 1 of 11 while he's been out there, so he's kind of slow.
Meanwhile, the count on Iglesias 1-2. The Tigers are back in it with a 2-run ninth. They've got the tying run at first with 1 out. Little chopper back up the middle. Semien tags the back 1. Relay. Not in time. Wasn't hit hard enough. Iglesias runs well, and so now the Tigers have 2 outs with a runner aboard.
Yeah, Semien wondering whether he should have tried to get this ball to his second baseman. Maybe that would have saved them some time, but I don't think so. And I think he made the right play. Iglesias just runs well.
Here's Presley now, the last chance for the Tigers. Single and 4 at bats for Presley this afternoon. Tigers down to their final out. They trailed 3-2. Swing and a miss. Try to hold up. 0-1. Dull start of the inning, but was chased on a 2-run single by Romine. Hendricks coming on. The 0-1 pitch. That'll get away to the backstop. It goes. Quick throw down to second. Not in time. Iglesias will move into scoring position, and that could turn out to be huge.
Yeah, another wild pitch here by an Oakland Athletics pitcher. And Fegley had no shot. That ball did get back to him in a hurry. Nearly made the play down at second base, but and now Alex Presley has himself in a really nice fastball friendly count to slap that ball to left field like he's done so much since putting on a Tiger uniform.
Tying run at second base.
Smolinski in left field is playing really shallow. And should Presley hit one in that direction, it's going to be a tough call for Dave Clark, Tigers' third base coach, whether he wants to send Iglesias home or not.
Two and two now on Presley. Tigers today 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. But Alex, an opportunity now to tie this thing up here in the bottom of the ninth. Now Alex steps out. Walk by Navarro, doubled by Matuk with 1 out, single by Romine, played at 2. Now with 2 outs, Presley. Swing and a miss. He struck him out to end the ball game. So the A's take all 3 here from the Tigers. Now we send you to the Coliseum Studios. Matt Shepard, Tigers Live postgame.
All right, Mario, pretty good ball game, actually, as the A's sweep the Tigers in a 3-2 final. Coming up, we go inside the Tigers clubhouse. Trevor Thompson talks with Brad Ausmus and more. And we talk about the key to Anibal Sanchez's strong start. Plus, how do they shut down one of the A's big boppers? All that and more next on Tigers Live.